Welcome back, everyone, to Open Line, talking about juvenile justice reform. We have with us Khadija Babb. She is a former assistant district attorney in Davidson County. She worked in juvenile court for several years, and a good discussion. We've had a few calls, and I'm just going to keep going to the phones here as we talk about this and go to Barry. Hello, Barry.
Yes, thank you for taking my call. Whether you allow me to talk very long or not, we'll see. You haven't in the past. The thing about it is a couple different things that I would like to take and bring to your attention. It has to do with both of you. You as a news reporter, etc., it would be good if the news media would take and be more honest in all status quo with our black and white problems in our country and that. And for both of you, it would be good if both of you and most people would get away from this here racist garbage that's going on in our country. See, it's a one-way street mostly in our country. It's all about the black, the black, the black. Well, guess what? We're all white, black, whatever other pigment of our skin, etc. And reason I say about truth, see, most time people want to say this, they don't like it be finished. On slavery, the first slave owners were the black tribal chiefs and tribes of Africa. They took and made slaves out of the people in Africa. Then they sold them for trinkets, etc., to them ship captains, etc., and brought them to America and other countries.
Okay, all right.
And
so you're saying black people owned slaves first, and that proves what to you?
Well, if you'll let me go ahead, and that means that guess what? Slavery is not about the white man alone. Both of them were guilty. And that. God didn't intend for people to take and own other people and that. And the thing about what I was saying to this young lady.
Do you have a question about this topic? Do you have a question about this topic?
No, I told you, you're a gentleman, that I was going to make comments.
Okay. All right. Well, those are your comments. Yeah, I remember you've talked before. All right. So they're his points of view. He's made those points of view before. That's fine. Make those points of view. He's saying he might be saying we're talking a little bit too much about race when we're talking about this. If we are, again, as somebody who's been there every day, you see this every day. I think race is part of this, but is it too much? Do we talk too much about it? How is it not part of this? What do you say to some of what he had to say? And you don't have to address all of it, but just some of what he's saying there.
First of all, that's why we need to teach critical race theory in schools, so we can talk about the actual facts. So that would be the first thing I would say. To follow up with that, obviously America has an issue with race, and until people are going to be treated equally, it's always going to be an issue. And that's all I'm going to say to him.
All right. Very good. Let's go to Vicky. Hello, Vicky.
Hello. I want to say that when I was growing up here in Nashville, they used to have like a summer program called the youth program, the Mayor Youth Program, and I couldn't wait till the summertime comes so I can work and have my own money, so I can buy clothes or whatever I want to do with my money. I think what it is, y'all need to get some more of these programs out here for these young folks so they can work.
Okay, yeah. When was that? When did you do that, Vicky?
It's been a long time ago.
But it was here in Nashville.
But it was here in Nashville.
All right, Vicky.
And it used to be called the Mayor Youth Patrol.
All right, thank you, Vicky.
And it started out with, they started young at 14 to 21.
Okay. All right, what about that?
So I would agree with Vicky. The first thing I would say is I do believe there is a summer program where youth can, and it's slipping my mind right now, which is terrible. I wish I can't think of it right now, but I know there is a program. It's a nonprofit who fields youth through their system and will connect them with areas that they are interested in for a summer program. So there is something that exists like that currently. But I will also agree with Vicki in that just giving youth the opportunity to work, teaching them the value of $1. I think that would just go a long way. I know I started working as soon as I could when I was 15. And I think that would, working and being a part of a sports team or an athletic team, it just gives youth value in ways that you just can't teach them on an everyday basis. Just being dependable, creating a schedule, being responsible, being accountable. So definitely working in career opportunities is something that we need to make sure that we're making available to our youth.
Very good. Thank you, Vicki. Let's go to BIbi. Hello, BIbi.
Hello.
Go right ahead.
Hi. My name is BIbi. It is so good to be seeing the show that I'm seeing tonight, okay? I have been one of those parents that started out way below zero. Took a lot of work, took a lot of learning, took a lot of changing the mindset I had been brought up with to be able to do some things differently. The programs, I think, are they're not just necessary, they have to be. I think our churches have to get more involved, especially we're in the South, okay? So I think the churches, all of the groups have to be involved. I had a conversation with Sheriff Hall perhaps a year ago, that it was so good to hear his conversations on at least what they're doing of having, 125 beds, or I'm not sure of the number, but when people come in with a mental health issue, if they appear to have a mental health issue, that's where they're supposed to be taken first, when they're brought in by the police. So I think it's all areas, okay? And I'm kind of pinky with kind of some help blonde hair, okay? So
okay.
It's not just about what your color is, okay?
Right.
And none of the things are about just what your color is. So, hey, I totally love what I hear you saying, and I know getting programs are a lot more difficult than most people do. I worked mental health for a lot of years, thank God. That kind of helped save my life, too. So,
thank you, BIbi. Thank you.
Kudos to y'all, okay? That's it.
Thank you for calling
Thanks,
in.
BIbi.
All right, so clearly what has struck a nerve is when you are saying we need more for youth to do. We need more programs out there. And it sounds like BIbi is saying amen. She's also mentioning the mental health component of that. But that's great. So I want to just kind of hammer that point home. What can churches do? What can one person do? When you say we need more programs, what can council people do? You've said we need these community centers open on weekends. It seems like we ought to be able to do that. What else would you like to see that would really make a difference, do you feel like?
So another thing, we definitely have to figure out more engaging activities during the summertime. I know that, I see it all over Facebook. Parents are like scrambling to find, camps for their kids to be involved in. And usually the camps get filled up. And then you have kids who are, what are parents supposed to do? They still have to go to work during the summertime. So we need to figure out, more programs that are available, or create more programs during the summertime. Another thing is, I was talking about the disconnect of having the community resources, having these nonprofit programs, and they are just not getting to the communities like they should. So whether it's our, Metro creating a website that will list all of the nonprofits and what they do, and maybe some schedules so that the parents can a central resource for that purpose. That's one thing. I think that churches need to consider being open after school and providing food, meals, tutoring, mentorship, and maybe even picking up that slack and being open on the weekends when the community centers are not open. But it's definitely going to take people actually pouring into the youth and taking time. And then when you see a young person, especially if they're having trouble, ask them what's wrong. Don't automatically assume that they're acting out because they are bad kids. Ask them what's wrong. Something is wrong. Something has happened. Show that you care. These youth can tell when, when we as adults just kind of are either doing it for ourselves or we're not committed. That's one thing that I think we have to continue to do is to be committed, because a lot of times with these programs, maybe the youth connects with one person, but that person works for an organization and then they no longer work there. So now that youth has built that relationship with that person. So if you can and you build a relationship with a youth and you start to mentor them, continue to keep up with them, continue to check on them, even if it's even if you don't work with that particular organization anymore, even if the summertime has gone and they're no longer working there, if they need you, continue to be there for them.
I appreciate that. And yeah, this is an opportunity for churches, and I think that's something we all need to hear as well. All right, we'll take a break, come back, continue the discussion right after this.